What will they answer when anyone dares to ask? 1,000 new kids for 1,000 poor little bastards pay, yes. I hope that they get it so my grave won't be too shallow. 'Cause the man who don't give a damn finally got his stayed with the gallows. 'Cause the man who don't give a damn finally got his stayed with the gallows.
So you have this beautiful alabaster beauty, almost choked by this demonology and occult and the wolf of Death Valley and the reptilian eye, the various tentacles that spread throughout the case. And you have it dripping away with time, literally melting away with the ravages of time. Sharon Tate's death and the death of the other 8 people was in fact the beginning of the death of the 60s. I'd kind of reached back into my childhood, horror movies, etc., and I'd been really smitten with Sharon Tate in The Fearless Vampire Hunters. Exquisite red-headed alabaster goddess. I'd kind of felt that there was no more of a tragic news figure than Sharon Tate. And what had happened was I'd began doing portraits of Sharon Tate initially, but it had always struck me that it was odd that she'd been mired in this whole esoterical occult thing. So what I did was I started to do some research. The impetus for me beginning the Charles Manson case, or the Charles Manson series rather, was to try and understand how it was that these events on August the 9th, 1969 had created this situation, this story, which was still resonating today. The Manson series is actually called Man, Son, The Haunting of the American Madonna. What I'd done is I'd actually taken the bloody epithets that were left at the crime scene and used those as the starting point for the works. In those epithets, I tried to structure an idea of what it was that those words meant to me, not so much the impact that they had on the case as a whole. What it was they had, in a sense, in terms of relevance to any kind of mystical ideology that was existing. And also the stuff that was happening in the 60s, you know, these incredible passage of time where the doors of perceptions were opened, but closed on that one singular night. I like art that does ask questions that you have to return to. You have to try and unravel, that it always looks different the second time you stare at it. I think that's more interesting to me. I'd never seen anybody actually approach what I perceive as a ritualistic murder in a way that was aesthetically and creatively expressive.